Well, September 22nd, 2018 is upon us, and that means we are now in fall. And what brings fall to mind more than Halloween? And what is more Halloween in spirit than pumpkins and axe-related violence? This here is a Skeggöx, specifically a Grimfrost replica of a Viking Age axe that would have been, well, used for killing. You can see this hook here. That is what they would call the skeg, which is Old Norse for beard, roughly. So, head of the axe, beard. Cute, right? Until you consider why it had a beard. Removing a large chunk of the axe made the metal part lighter without sacrificing any effectiveness. And a beard could actually be used for a hook in some scenarios, and that way you could commandeer a weapon, maybe a shield, and in some cases wound your opponent. All in all, a very ugly weapon, but very handy, and I don't plan on using it to kill anyone, but that's why we have a pumpkin. But before I hit the pumpkin, I'd like to hit this milk jug full of water. Now that's not going to offer a lot of resistance, but I've done it before, and it created a very clean cut. So I just want to demonstrate how precise the damage is when you use this weapon. Now, with minimal effort, I could use this axe to do this to the milk jug. Now, it's not very impressive in itself because this doesn't exactly provide much resistance, but it's a very clean cut if you look at it and account for the curvature of the milk jug. And I know you're still probably not impressed because it's a milk jug, but it is a blade that we're working with here. There's a lot of force behind it. Now what's really going to tell me about this axe here is what it can do to this guy. Now, I think we're all aware that a pumpkin is quite a bit different from a human head, depending on the human we're talking about here. But it's firm, there's a lot in there, and it does have some superficial similarity to a human skull, which is firm, but not unbreakable, and contains a lot of soft matter, which is very important. So, if I were to strike this with a baseball bat, wouldn't break the pumpkin probably, not with me behind the baseball bat anyway, but it would rattle the contents. And what that would translate to in a human head is some kind of concussion in the brain. That would almost certainly cause some neurological damage. And with an axe, that damage is all concentrated through this blade. So, we are going to strike the pumpkin just with that blade. And just tapping it, I can actually see some little lines appearing. So, this is a force to be reckoned with. Get ready. Well, it's starting to spit rain, so I better get moving. Well, I should have anticipated that, especially because I drove right down through the stem, but if you think about that, think of this in terms of a human head, that's still a pretty mean injury. We're going to try something else. So, we're not quite getting the explosive action I was anticipating. But that's my fault. And I think this actually makes the weapon scarier. Because look at that clean break right here. Imagine if that struck a human body. That would easily expose the organs, fracture bone, all kinds of nasty stuff. Not to mention blood loss. Still, we're going to try one more stroke to see what this axe can do. Well, I think what I was saying about the milk jug is also evident here. Look at just how clean that break is from this axe. Maybe if I were using a felling axe or maybe a sledge, it would be a messier, more result. But as it is, I think today we've learned to respect the Viking Skeggöx, or bearded axe. Hopefully we'll be making more of these videos, because I had quite a lot of fun, and I learned a bit. So did the pumpkin.